Okay, so I'm about to change the Geo's oil right now and get all that seafoamed oil out of it. It's got about 200 some odd miles, actually probably around 250 since I put the seafoam through it. Got the oil filter remover, magnet just in case I drop the nut, or the bolt rather, into my oil container, and then the wrench to take the bolt off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm using a Wix filter, and wherever the hell all my oil went, oh, it's around here somewhere. There it is. Test out my zoom. So I'm going to get to doing this, and then after this I'm going to show off the stereo that I've got in it and stuff. So it is what it is. Okay, so first, just take your cap off so it lets all the air circulate as you're removing stuff. I think I actually grabbed the wrong wrench. I think it's actually a 15. Could be wrong though. Oh, I guess I was right. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and move my container here out of the way, loosen it up. Should have done this with the engine warm actually. There you go. And I forgot that I had a screen there, so I'm going to go ahead and just let it drain. We'll be back in a second. Okay, so all the oil is drained out now. I already started loosening up the oil filter, and I found a problem here. Notice the entire underside of my transmission here is wet and nasty. I'd show you guys the glove that I took off, but you know, it's inside out. But all this along here is transmission fluid and dirt and grease. So there's a leak somewhere. I'm thinking that it's coming out of the rear main seal right here in the middle of the transmission. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. So I'm going to have to end up taking this thing in for a lot of reasons for the transmission. Other than getting it rebuilt. But I hate dealing with transmissions, and if this was just a clutch it'd be something else, but I'm probably going to end up getting the clutch replaced too, just because it's going to be there and it's going to be the best idea. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking off the filter here as soon as I get the bolt back in and the container up here. So there's the old filter, here's the new one. Just letting everything continue to drip down before I put the new one on. But let's go ahead and open up the case of oil. So it requires 3.7 quarts. I've already got 1 quart up there. And I thought it was 3.5 at first. That's what I thought I remembered, but no, 3.7. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and fill it up with. Chiltons are great for, you know, general information, basic stuff. I wouldn't do an engine rebuild off of one of these, but just for, you know, torque values and simple ways to get at things and, you know, this and that. Obviously for fluid quantities and stuff, they're great. So just gonna give it a quick once over, make sure everything's good. Got one small drop on that oil plug, but that's all right. One thing you guys should always be careful about, when I took this filter off, I noticed that this gasket here was still on the block. And that can create a lot of problems if you go ahead and put your new oil filter on, neglect to take that out. Just letting you guys know that. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm not going to show every quart going into this thing, but you guys get the idea with just one. So I'm just going to finish this one off here. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so before I go here, I've got plenty of funnels here at the house, but I figured I should show you guys this little trick. This is another trick I've learned. Basically, you can just make a funnel out of a regular quart of oil like this one. And the best part is, with this particular car, it screws right in. It's a great little trick that you guys should pick up on, and seeing as how the engine's slanted a little bit this way, I'm going to go ahead and fill it in like that. So I just figured I'd show you guys that before I cut out again. I'm going to go ahead and give it another quart of oil. See how good that works? Very great trick. But of course I'm doing this one-handed, so I am going to get a little bit of oil in other places. So there you have it. Okay, so I got all the oil in. Now it's time to start it up. Usually grab my beer. Stick the beer right there. I'm just going to start it and let it run. Still idles pretty low. Now I wanted to do this in two separate videos, but I guess I'll just do it in this one. But this is my stereo here. It's a Pioneer. That's the model number, DEH-1300MP. It is a fairly basic unit. I didn't want to get the next one up, which had sub controls, because, well, frankly, I don't plan on putting subs in this thing, because you could probably get into it with a coat hanger. But it's a pretty decent stereo. Go ahead and I've got a CD in. That's the one I got in. It's pretty loud too. But it's a pretty good stereo. I mean, I've liked it since I've been using it. It's got 6 presets for the radio. You can also go through your function, you know, repeat the disc, RDM off, I don't know what that means, scan off, pause off, you know, you can change all this stuff. I've always had good luck with Pioneers. Well, I should say the people around me have had good luck with Pioneers. But here we have the settings, the sound settings: bass, mid, treble. I've got the loud setting on. I'll get to that in a minute. Fade, you know, all that good stuff. And here's the equalizer. You can go through and change that. I'm not going to really mess with that because I don't really want to screw anything up. Well, not really screw anything up, but just, you know, go through and mess up all the settings that I already have. And plus, I don't really know how to use it. And then this is a display button. I guess that's if it's the screen's off. That'll just make it come back. And then you have your band, which that's for your stereo. We're in FM right now. FM2, FM3, AM, which there's only one station that I can really listen to with this. Just a talk radio station.
Also includes Rush Limbaugh and some comments he made, among which he said, you know, oh, if we're going to pay for the birth control, maybe we should get a video out of it. Obviously, illustrating absurdities, he said.
Let's see. This goes to your clock, which I don't have set to the correct time. It's actually 10 minutes off. I can't remember if I set it or not, but yeah. It does play MP3 and WMA files, so that's good. But what I really like about it is the fact that you can plug an auxiliary cable into it and use it that way. It also has a little remote for it, which is pretty cool. If this was an automatic, it'd be a little bit more handy. I've actually thought about attaching it somehow to my steering wheel, and you know, just kind of like the Focus has on its steering wheel for its radio. But this is a pretty decent unit. I think I paid a little over $80 for it. I can't remember offhand. I know it was less than $100. But you know, I've been happy with it. It works. This car, the shocks in it are bad, so there's a lot of vibrations when you're going over bumps and stuff, and just traveling down the highway. But with all that vibration, it doesn't mess up the CD at all. No problems there. The other part that I'm going to get to here is these two door speakers, which I do plan on putting them here in the back. They were $100 or some odd for the pair, and they're really damn good door speakers. Addictive Audio. That's a company that a couple of my friends have been doing business with since they started driving, and they make like 12-inch subwoofers, and I think they go up even bigger than that. I think they have 14s too. I can't remember. I'm not really into, you know, bass and stuff like that. I just like stuff that sounds good. But I have them up here in the doors, and they came with these faceplates, obviously, as well as all the hardware to mount them in. And they're really good. I mean, the sound quality is really, really good. They were definitely worth the money. Let's go ahead and get it to a song here. Oops. Yeah, I'm a pretty big Queensryche fan, just to let you guys know. So that's all good and dandy. It's a good CD player. I also got this mounting kit from Walmart. That was for the old cheap AM/FM cassette player combo that I threw in here. The reason why I spent so much money on this is because it's going to be a commuter rig. It's slowly getting there. I've been driving it to work and back. It's getting about 41, 42 to the gallon. It should be getting 47. It might even be getting less than that. But I'm also adjusting my driving when I drive this thing from now on to get a better reading. But that could also be because of the way I'm driving it. You know, I'm going 65, 70 on the highway trying to keep up with everybody else. And not lying or anything here, but this car is not fast. It will not win any races at all. So yeah, there's an MPG report coming up. Probably the next time I fill up. Cost a little over $20 to fill this thing up from an 1/8 over empty, so that was good. But yeah, that's really about it with this video. I mean, can't really talk about too much else. Car's been running long enough. Sounds fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this where it is, and y'all stay close.